I've had a lot of requests for information on how to add booking fees into the system. So today's video is going to be all about agency fees, booking fees, whatever you want to call them, and some different options you have in Vacation CRM for managing those. The most common thing that I see users do is just add the fee to the reservation that already exists. So I've got one in here, and if you scroll down here you can see that I've just added an other component. I've written out agency fee, I put in the price, but then I said do not show an invoice here, so it will include that $100 in the total, but it will not show the words agency fee. That's more for you as an agent to be able to see why it's an extra $100 from what the supplier shows. So that's the quickest and easiest way to do that. There are some downsides to that though. For one, in this example, I'm adding $100 worth of revenue to my sales with travel impressions, which is not accurate. So, you do that on every booking throughout the course of a year, you're going to heavily inflate your sales with that supplier. The other downside to that is you will not be able to track how much revenue you brought in from your fees by doing it this way. So the other solution is to set up a new reservation type here for your fees, and then also set up your agency as the supplier for that so you can track that. So I'll show you how to do that now. That's all going to be done in the manage code section. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab here. And the first thing we want to do is add the reservation type in the reservation screen. We want to add a new one to that. So we'll click go. Here's the current types of reservations that come with the system. So we're going to go ahead and add a new one. So we'll click add new code. Now when you name this, you have to be careful because it depends on how you charge these fees to clients. If it's just something you roll into the package price, you aren't going to want to call this something like agency fees or surcharge or booking fees. You want to, because it can show up on the invoice. So if it is something that you're telling your clients, hey, I have a plan to go fee, that's no problem. Go ahead and put it in there. But for this example, I will just use agency fees as the type. And the code you won't really see other than on this screen. The description is what you're going to see in the system from now on. So make sure to write it out, whatever it is. If you don't want your clients to see it, you may just put agency other or something similar to that, and then go ahead and click save. So now we've got it added. However, if I refresh this, and let's just add another reservation to this. If I were to select agency fees, I can't select a supplier because there's none mapped to that reservation type. So we also need to go into here and we need to find supplier/reservation screen right here and click go. And you're going to want to add your travel agency to this list here. So again, we're going to click add new code, and I'll just put TA and I'll put travel agency. This is where you would actually put your agency name right here and click save. And once you've added that, there's one more step. You need to scroll to the bottom here and you need to map your agency to this reservation type. So we've already got that selected, agency fees. Now we need to find your agency name in here, select it, and click save. So now I've done all of the setup things. So now, going back to the trip that we were just in, we've got our travel impressions booking right here, but let's take that $100 out of there so that we're not inflating our sales with travel impressions. So I'll just click delete, and I will save this. So now we're going to be back down to $35.20, which is the travel impressions price. And then I'm going to go back to the trip and I'm going to add a second reservation to this. So I'm going to select agency fees and I'm going to select my travel agency here. Now for the booking number, you're going to have to come up with some sort of system on how you want to number these. You may just put, agency and then whatever the supplier booking number is. and of course put in your deposit due date. Just put, whatever time you're working on it, whatever date that is, put that in there, and then go ahead and save. And then you're still going to do what you did before, where you add an other component, so you can put an actual price in there. And we'll just put agency fee, and we'll put $100. And we'll save that. Actually, we'll click do not show an invoice if you don't want it to show up. Now, even though I selected do not show an invoice, this agency fee won't show up. However, if I were to click preview invoice, you will still see that actual reservation in there. So when I look at the invoice, first I have my package reservation, which was my travel impressions booking, and then it will show the agency fees reservation for $100 here. So this is what I was talking about, where you have to be careful here if you put that in there, because the client will see that. However, you can also go back to the trip and you can check this box to hide invoice reservation totals, and then save that, and this is what the invoice will look like now. If I preview this, it will show everything together and then one cost right here. So it takes those headers out that show the individual reservations and the individual cost of each reservation and bundles it all into one. So there's no record of any fees being on here, but you can see it in VacationCRM in the back end. So by doing it like that, where you add the codes or for the reservation type and you add yourself as a supplier, what that allows you to do now is at the end of the year, if you want to see, okay, how much did I sell worth of agency fees, you can go to your reports here and you could run the revenue by agent report, for example, and I'll just do my travel date for this year and show on screen. And you can see I've got a column now for agency fees. So you can see how much each agent sold. Down here will be your total. If you click on any of these, it will give you a breakdown of all of those bookings. And of course, this is the one that we just put in. So I've got $100 there.